You can always see something as half full or half empty. And I know that there are people who feel that Copenhagen could have been more ambitious, given the scale of climate and development challenges that we have ahead of us. Firstly, you did see the engagement for the first time of some very important players in the construction of that vision who were perhaps less engaged in the past. So the US, China and India, for example, the basic countries and so forth, as key participants in framing this as a development and climate conjunction. And in building a nexus between domestic priorities in each of these countries and the need to commit at the global level. And so that architecture in some ways has the benefit of being robust in the sense that it's a commitment by these governments to their own people through domestic legislation, through national interests and national priorities, and therefore is less likely perhaps to just melt away after the headlights of publicity move to some other subject. I'm glad to say that there was some convening that took place in Copenhagen by a group of people who focus on institutional finance in a much broader and wider sense than had been defined earlier when the world was predominantly focused on the carbon markets. A much broader series of representatives of the finance community coming together to say, how can we fund the hundreds of billions of dollars that are going to be required to solve this problem? And I think that there's been a good start in thinking through what that might mean. And we are now moving to the next stage, which is to say, all right, so how do we now, in this coming financial year, put on the table practical, believable, realistic proposals that are like pilots, but that can be scaled up over time to solve these huge problems.